The first thing I want you to do is on the back of your artwork, I want you to write your name right in the middle. Once you've written your name on the back, I want you to flip it over and I want you to turn your paper the tall way, the portrait way. So it's not the long way, but the tall way. Now make sure you're watching and noticing where I'm drawing these shapes and lines. I'm going to start with 2 circles up at the top left corner. Now notice I'm not going to put them too close to the edge, too close to the corner, but far enough up there. Next I'm going to draw 2 bigger circles. Notice where I'm starting and what kind of line I'm going to draw. At the end of my line, I'm going to draw a triangle. I'm going to draw 2 curvy lines, kind of like a smiley face and a frown face. So the first one is going to be more like a smiley face. The bottom one is going to be more like a frown face. At the end of each of those lines, I'm going to draw a circle. And off of each of those circles, I'm going to draw 5 small lines, spreading them out so they're not all too close to each other. Then I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 lines in between the 2 curved lines. This last line is really going to tell what it is. So watch, I'm going to make one long line, and at the end, when I'm done drawing that line, you should be able to tell what it is. Notice I'm not going too close to that line already. Point at the triangle, back up. We have created a lizard. Now we want to add more details to our lizard. We want to make our own creative choices. So I might create a tongue. My lizard might fly. So I might add some wings. These are my eyes of my lizard. Maybe I'll add some cool dots, some curvy lines. Has some bumps, maybe for scales. But I want you to go ahead and add all those small little details that make your lizard yours. Make your own creative choices. I may even add things in a few little details in the background. Once you have finished drawing your lizard and you have added all the details that you want to, at your table you're going to get a bucket of crayons. With those crayons you're going to use as many colors as you want, and you are going to trace over all of your pencil lines with crayons. Now you're not going to color in these shapes. I'm not going to color in the wing. All I'm doing is I'm going over all of my pencil lines. And notice how I'm pressing nice and hard. This will be very important when we paint next week. Pressing as hard as I can, going nice and slow, using as many colors as I can and as you want, until your entire lizard is covered. So again, you're going to keep going over all of your pencil lines until your entire lizard is covered with lots of different colors. Notice how I did color in a little part the tail, and I did color in the eyes a little bit, but mostly I just traced over all of my pencil lines, including the details in the background. Now you are ready to paint. At your table, you're each going to get a placemat. So I have a white placemat. You are going to have a water bucket to share, paint sets to share, and your own paintbrush. You're going to notice you'll have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet's kind of hard. It may seem like I don't have a lot of green, but I do. There's plenty of color around the sides. What you're going to do is you're going to dip your brush into the water, and you're going to get your first color. So I might start with red. Getting lots and lots of paint on my brush. Now, making sure that we're keeping this brush, the hairs, in one direction. I don't want to press down. We want to make sure you're getting the paint only in one direction. Then I'm going to start painting my lizard. Maybe I'm going to paint my wings red. Doing the best that I can, going nice and slow. I think I will paint the one on this side red as well. Noticing now I need a little bit more paint and maybe a little bit more water. If we don't use enough water, it's not going to spread. It's going to take a very long time to paint. Now I want to use a different color for the body of my lizard. Before I decide to go and get another color, I have to rinse my brush. So I'm going to take the water and I'm going to very carefully rinse my brush. Then I'm going to dab off the sides. Notice I'm not making any noise, and I'm going to get my next color. I think I might use yellow. Get as much yellow as I can. Notice I'm being very gentle. I'm going to do my whole lizard with yellow, taking my time. Now notice how I can still see that oil pastel. Or that crayon. I can still see that crayon, which is awesome. We're not covering that crayon, but we're just bringing it out. And that's because crayon has wax. So when you put paint over it, it won't cover it. Notice how I'm getting more paint and more water if I run out. I'm also taking my time and doing my best to stay in the lines. Going around the eyes, going nice and slow. And I really want to use lots of colors, so I'm not going to paint my nostrils. I'm going to paint those a different color. Then again, before going and getting another color, I have to rinse my brush. I'm going to get water, I'm going to rinse my brush, and I'm going to dab and go ahead and get my next color. I think I'm going to use purple. I'm going to get lots of purple, being gentle to my brush, always being gentle. I'm going to go ahead and paint my eyes. I might even paint these little dots in my lizard as well, the hands. In between each color we need water. Using lots of different colors. We are even going to paint our background. For my background color, I think I'm going to go ahead and get orange. Lots and lots and lots of orange. Being gentle to my brush, keeping the hairs of the brush in one direction. And I'm going to start to paint my background so I can't see any white. Notice how you can still see the green swirl. And you can still see the claws. Now if you need more water, if you need more paint, you can always get more. We want to make sure you can't see any of the white paper. You're going to keep painting until the entire paper is filled